I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs lately. I keep getting invalid credentials and I've got to log out and log back in again. I just don't know what's going on with it. Right, I wasn't going to do an update for a few days because I'm resting my arm still, but I have been doing things, but kind of slow. So it didn't seem like a worthwhile job to live stream anything because I'd be stopping every 10 minutes because my arm's been giving me a lot of jip. Even when I lift the kettle up, my arm gives me a lot of jip because it's called tendonitis. So if you know what that is, if you suffer from it, you'll know that sometimes you just have to stop. Anyway, so I'm just going to go over the previous iterations. The one that I was doing with these previous magnets in here, this is the one with the rectangular coils that were already wound. That was kind of not very good mainly because the depth and the rectangular coils, there was too much heat in that small area. And then I did this second one, which was actually can't get this out. I'll pop it out from underneath. So, and then I've got the coils in there, which I'm going to reuse. I'm not going to scrap them. So there's my other coils are wound, and if it focuses, with the laminations in the array. So I'm going to be taking those out of there. But so now I was trying the laminations on the drive coil. These are the drive coils, and I don't really think I need these, to be honest, on the drive coils, only on the output section. So I don't know. I'll probably, you see, I've been trying to decide what to do really, and been in two minds about whether or not to use laminations like this on the drive coils, because it doesn't seem to make a great deal of benefit on that side of it. Now, as you can see, there's a difference in the trigger coil on the previous one and the trigger coil on the secondary one. So this one works fine, so I'm going to be transplanting that across to the new one, which I've been test fitting in the new base drawer. So let me just get that out. So I've put the fan on. I'll move it over here actually so we can get some light on it. Put it on the cushion, right? So I'll put the fans on the new assembly. I'm just going to push this out. As you can see, I've taken all the secondary coils off here at the moment. So I'm pushing it out from the other side at the moment, so I can grab it and pull it all out. I ain't got many coils in here at the moment. My arm's killing me still. Pull all that out. Oops. So these are two sections. So there's my drive bay, which is now empty. Now this basically is like the concentric sixes, but the magnet arrays, you know, like the ones I showed you previously where you've got a magnet in a circle. But the trouble with the magnets in a circle is you can only get so much extra additive flux to the lamination cores. Now if you look at these, I've got these thick steel laminations in here. Now this is in a balanced state right now, so it's kind of negated. Let me just pop this one out, if I can, without just, right. So there's magnets on this side which counteract the magnets, these big powerful magnets that are in the middle. So these laminations are coupled all the way through, so that at the intersection points it's nulled. There's basically no flux. So what we have is, if I get my magnetic gauge, you'll see that it's deflected a bit there. Sorry about the reflection. And when I move it to the other side, it's subtracted, and that's deflected. And if I go diagonally across, that's deflected, that's attractive. So right in the center we have a null spot. It's basically biased in a null position. So when the coil is situated over there, we have zero flux until the coil is energized, and what that does is it subtracts some of the flux from one pole, say the south pole, draws it into the coil, which adds flux to the coil core material. that it also allows this coil to get more of the opposite flux. So if we're subtracting north on this side, then there's going to be more south over here. Then this coil is energized, so that actually gets more, adds more south, which feeds back a loop to this coil, which gets more north. So it actually helps to the gain, so we get a gain of flux additive to the drive circuit. So this one is also in a negative state, except when it goes that way or that side. But those magnets are a bit weak on that side anyway. But anyway, so in the center it's basically nulled out. If I get my screwdriver in the middle there, it's basically, it's not sticking very much. But over here it's picking it up, look, see? It can actually pick it up there. But in the middle it's not. I'll get further to this end. These are weaker magnets, they're picking up there. Right. Get off. Right, so in the middle it's nulled out, but not there. Right, so there's a balance, there's a null spot right in the middle. And same with this one, but there's a gap, there's an air gap, because this is the center, because this is the central core of the magnetic flux area. We need to balance things a little bit more. We need an air gap there. So there's an air gap right in the middle there. So that is one pole and that is the other pole. That is one pole and that's the other pole. So there's an air gap, but it still works okay. So anyway, the coils will go on. These are there'll be one set of coils at the base. And then I'll be taping these two sections together, so instead of gluing them, because I want to be able to access this bottom section. So when this section's taped onto this top section, I'm going to have to wind more coils, rectangular coils, that are actually deeper. So it'll be based on the original coils, which worked really well, but which were round, but there'll be bigger rectangular coils. So it's going to be thicker rectangular coils in this top section. And I won't be doing the laminations, because I don't believe that I need them for the drive coil circuit. They only work well for the cancelling the drag on the, but we see we want thrust on the drive circuit, so we don't want to cancel thrust, we want to increase thrust, you know, for the drive circuit. So like using the laminations is kind of pointless really, because they're designed, I've been designing those to reduce drag. So obviously that would reduce the effectiveness of the drive on the opposite way around, so we don't really need them. So it's going to be more ferrite cores on these. So yeah, and they're going to be a lot thicker coils. So we're going to have two, it's like a double decker basically, but the bottom double decker is going to be in series. That's going to add extra flux and biasing to the coils that are on top. So there's going to be another 3 coils to wind, a lot thicker on the top section, and then the cooling fan is going to blow air through all of these. Because they've got a hollow core, we should get a much better circulation, better cooling, because there's less constraint on the airflow. So the airflow is going to flow through, and it's going to flow through the slots, through other slots, and through there. Because if you look, there's a lot of extra holes in there. Don't know if you can see a little round hole, so this side, so let air through, and the big arch shaped thing that lets air go all the way through. Anyway, so yeah, just a little update, but don't hold your breath. It's going to be probably a week or two before I get these all done, because yeah, I'm having trouble with my arm. It just lifting this thing up, I tell you. I mean, it's not that heavy, so yeah. They are a bit fiddly to get in to start with. A nice snug fit, that's the main thing. Oh, there's another thing as well. There's a reason why I reprinted these. Because when I printed these ones, I actually got my... I'll show you what I mean. Oh, I'll just put this between my legs. Don't get any ideas. Right, if I stick this in here, just get my wires. Stick my wires in there. Oops, I can't do this now. Hang on a minute. Ah, right. I'm trying to get these wires to thread through without fouling up. Right, there's a problem with these. If you look, I actually got my spacings wrong. Because look, can you see that? I got my spacings wrong, so that when that coil there is in the middle, this one isn't. If you see what I mean. Oh, actually, I'm in the wrong one. When that one is in the middle, that one's not lined up in the middle. It's off center, look. And that one is even worse. Yeah, I got my spacings all messed up in my SketchUp model, so I've had to go and fix that problem, because that one's not lined up. If I line that one up in the middle, and go to this one, oops, I moved it, I went slipped. If I line that one up in the middle and go all the way along, they get out of step, you see, and that's a lot, and that's no good. So I had to redo all my models to add an extra 2.5 millimeters on each one to sort that problem out. And that's another reason why this thing probably wasn't working very well before, because I'd got my stepping wrong. Anyway, these are properly done so that they will line up. So if I can get that in there and show you what I mean, when this, I'll show you on this one. So when this is in, it lines up. Hang on, right, you can see it lines up perfectly. All of them, they're all lined up, so the holes in the right places. So, well, that wouldn't have been much good, would it, if I'd built the thing and then found out all my holes were out of alignment, and that means all the flux would have been out of alignment. So anyway, I fixed that. I'm still printing the parts for this. I've got some more section. I've got the section for the timing coil tray. I've got to reprint that as well, which to go on the end of that. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow because it's getting a bit late. Let's get that in there. There we go. Right, in it goes. Right. And now that's in properly. We should be lined up. Just about. I pushed it a bit too far. I'll try and get the light on it a bit better. Right, yeah, I've gone a little bit too far. There we go, that's bang on now. Okay, so just a little update on where I'm at. And the new bottom is great. And I've left all my magnet drum out of there for the moment because I wanted to, well, it's a lot easier to work on while it's not got no wires hanging out and everything, and so I can test fit everything. And so we're going to be reassembling at some point, and when I do reassemble, I plan on completing all the coils before I start putting them back in. So it's going to be a while because I've got as I said previously, I've got which ones are they? Yeah, these coils I've got to replace with the larger ones. These are the small output coils, and I've got, these are the large output coils. I've got to do all large ones. So yeah, and I've also got to do the laminations on the secondary outputs. I want to sort it all out before I put it all back together, and I want to tidy up my wiring and have a wiring loom or something. Because I'm sick of wires sticking out everywhere. It was just a nightmare. Anyway, that's the update. Don't expect any more videos for about a week. I don't know, we'll see, but I mean, it's going to be a while. And live streams giving me problems at the moment as well. Don't know what's going on with it. I'll probably need to update my app or something, but the last time I updated the app it was giving me problems, so maybe it's just my phone that wants updating. Anyway, thank you for watching.